Lift your lid. Welcome to Swift Talk with Sheree Swift, helping you experience explosive growth, moving from where you are to where you want to be. Say no to mediocrity and yes to the life you want and deserve. Here is your host, best-selling author, performance coach, and speaker, Sheree Swift.
Welcome to Swift Talk. I am your host, Sheree Swift. I could not be more excited to be here. A little bit about me. I've been a business and performance coach for a couple of decades that partners with individuals and organizations. My clients, they affectionately refer to me as the Velvet Hammer. During this journey, I've had the honor and the privilege of supporting hundreds of clients to realizing their dreams and their potential. I am interested in people. And I live to connect good people together in order to create great outcomes. My coaching focus is performance-based, production-based, transition-based, recovery-based, and grounded in focus on growth. So I've recently published a book titled Grow Into Yourself, and that labor of love awarded me the honor of becoming a best-selling author. My book, Grow Into Yourself, is less than 100 pages of how to go from where you are to where you really want to be. And I speak in a language of no matter what. No matter what's happened to you, no matter your current circumstances, no matter how unfair or unjust, you can push through to your next level of badassery. You see, I'm uniquely qualified to offer this roadmap and mindset and insight due to my very own personal experience with tragedy, grief, loss, and recovery. I was a very young woman when I tragically lost my parents and buried them just a few days apart, suffered tremendous depression, followed by a series of decisions that were made in the middle of a pretty dark space that would impact my life for many years to come. We'll talk in more detail about my story in later episodes. I believe that grief, disappointment, challenge, and failure introduces us to who we really are and makes way for the next best version of who we're meant to be as a result of our experiences. Who I am today is an absolute reflection of my journey. I'm sure someone out there can completely relate to this. Client after client over the past 20 years has reiterated the importance of growth from the inside out. You know, getting beneath the exterior pretense and into the reason that you've not pushed through, realized your goal, finished that project, gotten that divorce, married your soulmate. Most of us have something that we need to push through to get to the other side, our mountaintop, our happily ever after. So every day, I get the privilege of walking people through their stuff and clearing a path to productivity, profitability, growth, and most importantly, peace. So why a podcast, Sheree? Well, I started this podcast because for two reasons, really. Number one, I'm a lover of people, projects, and watching folks walking in their purpose. I'm excited to host this platform for conversations that circle the globe on any and every topic that could help you along the way. And really, the second reason is there's only so many one-on-one conversations and platform speeches that you can give. I desire more outcome, more outreach, and the opportunity to connect with more people. This is a non-judgmental place where you can come to find your way through many questions that may exist for you on topics that could, with just a little bit of understanding and a few answers, change your reality. I'm an advocate for real, unfiltered, diverse conversation that makes way for understanding. I hope to leave no stone uncovered. Let's come together and laugh a little, learn a lot, meet new people, gain access to new resources, and get answers on perspective or questions that could be keeping us from living an out loud life. 95% of my show going forward will be time shared with experts representing their focus in their industry. Here's my promise to you. I promise open discussion, and if you write me at swifttalk@SherieSwift.com. I promise to read it and respond. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Our next few episodes will focus on all things growth, because what better place to start than with the idea and understanding of growth? Growth, the process of going from one place to another in any area of our lives. In our core, most of us understand the importance of growth. As parents responsible for young people and their mindsets, we document the growth of children all over the place. We run our walls and celebrate even the smallest milestones. And then, so many of us as adults stop setting growth goals. As if we've arrived, we're done, nothing left to do but exist? That can't be right. As long as we're still breathing, existing, we should be evolving. I got to tell you, at almost 50, I've recently purchased a Peloton cycle and have grown into, what my wife would say is a habitual competitive indoor cyclist. Who knew? 5 months, several pounds, inches, and sessions later, I've acquired a new passion that was not formerly even in my wheelhouse. We'll talk more about this in another series on health and wellness. Never give up on growth and the possibility of change into something that's so delicious that you can't even imagine it based on the way that you think right now. The single most important tool in the growth process, guys, is your mindset. Mindset is defined as your attitude, disposition, or mood. Your mindset is 90% of your success opportunity, 90%. Simply stated, if you can find a way to feel good about your anything, everything is possible. If you can't find a way to feel good and focus forward, your everything is limited to your most recent challenge that life has thrown your way. If you can make way to accept this way of thinking, then we need to move into a conversation about the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. Now, in a fixed mindset, we believe that our basic qualities, like our intelligence, our talents, those are fixed traits. Where we are is a result of where we were born, what exposure we've had, and our social economic exposure. In this mindset, we spend our time and energy describing and documenting our talents instead of developing them. In this mindset, we also believe that talent alone creates opportunity and success. So either you have it or you don't. We waste a good part of our existence focused on the regrets for the cards that were dealt to us, shortening us of our really deepest desires and the things that we'd really like to realize. This belief system and mindset is paralyzing. Kind of sucks. On the opposite side, in a growth mindset, we believe that our most basic abilities and current circumstances can be impacted and changed through dedication and consistent focus towards our desired outcome. This is where the hope comes in. I believe that the cards we were dealt, they're just a starting point. That the game is not dependent upon the cards in your hand, but on the focus of the player and their desire to win. This mindset and belief system makes way for a love of learning, a tremendous resilience, and optimistic outlook in even the most challenging circumstances. Virtually all truly happy and successful people, happy in business, relationships, they practice this belief system and have a growth mindset. So, what's your belief system? What stories do you tell yourself every day that's empowering your happiest, most productive self or preventing change from happening in your life? In a fixed mindset, we say things to ourselves every day like, it's hard for me to lose weight. I'm not good with numbers. I'm not a natural athlete. I'm just not creative. I don't know enough of the right people. I'm a procrastinator. I can't make those type of phone calls. It's pretty clear that those examples will cause you to avoid experiences where you might feel like a failure. As a result, you don't learn as much, and it's hard to become a better version of yourself because you're scared to death to try anything new. If you find yourself here, what can we do about this? How can we change things so that we believe in ourselves, eliminate this fixed mindset, and move towards growth? So consider this. Your actions change your beliefs. I'm going to repeat that. Your actions change your beliefs. Years ago, I functioned reactionary to the noisiest distractions. I spent my days turning away from everything that really needed my focus because I wasn't ready to be uncomfortable. Thought it'd be easier to maintain the status quo and stayed fixed in the failure that I had become really accustomed to. That was my story, and I was sticking to it. Until that mess that was my life required my attention, or it would mean self-destruction. So I gradually began to document all of my demons. I stacked ranked them based on size, weight, and scary factor, and proceeded to organize my life one subject at a time. Listen, it was uncomfortable, not my natural, and stressful. And the more I did it, the more I desired it. Today, I am uncomfortable being comfortable. Live by a fix it now mentality, and I understand and accept that sometimes things have to be broken in order to get better. We've got to get into action immediately to move away from a fixed mindset and to move forward into a growth mindset. Remember, it's not always the people that started out the brightest that end up the most successful and happy. It doesn't matter where you are right now. Those are not circumstances that are going to optimally and at the end of the day impact your outcome. Confidence is just displayed ability. Put in another way, prove it to yourself in small efforts, and you'll develop the confidence that you can improve it. In other words, small wins over time can lead to a growth mindset. The fixed mindset holds you back. And the growth mindset propels you forward into whatever you think and do personally and professionally. Our mindset choice will determine whether we think we're as good as we're going to get, which is the fixed mindset, or that we can change and evolve through our lives, which is the growth mindset. At the end of the day, mindset is how we perceive ourselves, the world, and how we function in it. Specifically, it's our mindset that drives the factors that determine what we make happen in our own lives. How willing are you to try new things to stretch yourself? How do you adjust your strategies along the way? How do you respond? And what do you do in the face of setbacks? How do you feel making mistakes and being wrong? How do you define success? And how do you define failure? At the end of this discussion that you have with yourself, the great news is that we can all adopt a growth mindset from wherever we are by simply putting ourselves in one. This is much, much easier than you might think. Just being aware of these two mindsets in this conversation can make us think and act intentionally in the direction that we desire. Will you change your mindset in order to become eligible for growth in your life? In our next few episodes, All Things Growth, you're going to hear from contributors and industry experts that focus on the topics of professional growth, financial growth, and spiritual growth. Join me in all of these episodes as we mind share on all things growth. I am so grateful that you're here with me on this journey, and I want to invite you to connect with me on Instagram at Swift Talk for upcoming episodes and series and an opportunity to win a free coaching session with me. Visit me on my website at www.shereeswift.com to read my blog on this first episode and learn a little bit more about my personal story, as I'll be documenting my process and my journey a little more in that spot. Learn more about what I do and how I help. And then let's be friends on Facebook. You can find me at Swift Transitions on Facebook or at my personal Facebook page, Sheree Swift. That's SherrysWift. Since we're focused on growth this next few episodes, I would love to give away a few of my books to the first 3 people to write me at Swift Talk, SWIFTTALK, at SherieSwift.com. Comment wherever you're listening and tell a friend, because we're in for a fun time together. Bring someone along. Life is delicious, my friends. Let's enjoy a great big slice together. Till next time.
You've been listening to Swift Talk with Sheree Swift. If you would like to schedule time with Sheree, download the show notes and much, much more. Find it all at www.sherieswift.com.